yellow display. So who's the crew today?
The crew flying the Apache is Roland Wally Blankenspoor. He's the head of the team and also the pilot in command. He's sitting in the front seat together with Harm Casimir. He's the co-pilot sitting in the back seat. They are steering the Hawk 01 and perform these maneuvers. You just saw a hammerhead maneuver, and the Apache is now setting up, come almost stationary in a high hover for a jack flop maneuver, where the Apache will turning upside down like you see and head down to earth to set up for the next maneuver, which will be a split S.
Very impressive performance from this helicopter, and you can see why it's so feared in theatres like Afghanistan.
Indeed, indeed. These maneuvers are like to show the maneuverability and also the power of an Apache helicopter. It can obviously not show the firepower of the Apache helicopter, which is also feared in Afghanistan.
And that's a theatre in which the Dutch Apaches, like those of so many other countries, have spent a lot of time.
Indeed, indeed. We spent almost 7 years over there. Unfortunately, the Dutch Apaches aren't stationed there at the moment, but they have been for the several past years.
And they form part of a Dutch helicopter command with the Chinooks and the Cougars and so forth.
Indeed, indeed. There's a new Dutch helicopter command where all the helicopters are stationed together at Gilserijen Air Base. And the Hawk 01 will set up again for a new roll maneuver. It will turn override and then show capability to fly upside down with this helicopter.
Good cooperation between the two crew members, absolutely vital for flying a display such as this.
Yeah, indeed. The Apache helicopters are always flying with two pilots, and this air show of the Hawk 01 will demonstrate that. The backseater, Wally, he will fly most of the maneuvers, while the other pilot, Kaas, is managing the power to fly at the limits of the Apache helicopter.
Normally, of course, the front seater plays a very important role in wartime, don't they?
Indeed, indeed. The front seater is normally the pilot in command, and he will look with the sensors and aim the weapon systems. But during this demonstration, the roles are switched, and the front seater is managing the power to get all the power out of the Apache and managing the engine systems.
Complete loop there, up into a climbing turn to the right. And I think next we're going to see a very impressive manoeuvre.
Indeed, the Apache is setting up for, I think, one of the most spectacular maneuvers. It's the vertical roll. It needs some time to gain altitude, thereafter set in a stationary hover, sliding a bit backwards actually, then point its nose over, head down to earth, while turning more than 360 degrees in a vertical roll, down spiral.
Just gaining height here. How much altitude roughly does he need?
It needs for this approximately 1700 feet, which will work out with the cloud base today. Important for Wally, while he's setting up for this maneuver to get the exact altitude and thereafter gaining speed. Whilst flying down to earth, the speed will accelerate very fast, and he needs also time to make more than 360 degrees turn over right. So it's a coordinated maneuver where Wally is preparing for this at this time. And after this vertical roll, it sets up again for a split S, coming back to the display line and making another roll maneuver or clover lead.
During this very impressive display, a good time to welcome our listeners on Airshow FM, who I believe have just joined us, wherever you are. A very warm welcome to the Royal International Air Tattoo 2013. We're just watching the Royal Netherlands Air Force Apache display.
Thank you again for this introduction. We are watching to the Royal Netherlands Air display of the Apache helicopter. The Apache helicopter is halfway down the sequence and just performed another cloverleaf maneuver. Down in the top it made a 45 degree turn over right, setting up again